Hey, welcome back to the CT Small Business Podcast. You know me already. I'm your host, Chris. Here on the CT Small Business Presents Podcast, we get to know Connecticut-based small business owners, and we get to learn about them and their business. If you like the podcast, rate it, share it, review it on whatever platform you're on. Let's get into the episode. Exactly. And as usual, we are live, and this week we actually have the Drunk Alpaca.
Hello.
Ladies, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm glad that you came in for me tonight.
I know, we're neighbors almost.
Yes, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thanks for coming out. It's appreciated, you know. I've been wanting to have you guys on for a while, so.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Yeah. I'm also sorry the snacks that you brought in also caught me off guard. They caught my attention for a little bit, so.
That's good.
Yeah, so we're hoping for the bright packaging, and you might hear some like crinkling for everybody while we're snacking on some stuff.
Mm-hmm. I love the color, so.
Thanks.
I'm a big color person, so.
Yeah, we had a local artist redesign our packaging. The alpacas stayed the same, but we changed the font, the colors, the style, and so it goes with our bright pink van.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, he also designed the bright pink van.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I do see the pink van all over the place when I'm out and about. So.
Yeah, that was the hope. You know, when we're driving all around delivering or going to events, is advertise while we're out there.
Yes,
But,
definitely.
Yeah, the local designer was Nick Gamma from Hops and Branding. He also does some can designs for local breweries too.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm not too familiar. Maybe if I saw his face, I would know who he was. But it's just like it's one of those type of things.
He's out and about in the beer world.
Yeah, it's always a plus.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. You know, so of course I gotta ask. First question is, what is the Drunk Alpaca?
The Drunk Alpaca is a snack company and bake shop. We're based in Trumbull, and we bake with Connecticut beer, local honey, and other local ingredients when they're in season. We make beer glazed chips, beer caramel nuts, different pretzel mixes, beer brownies and blondies, a bunch of different pies and cookies. What am I forgetting?
Yeah, we also bake with hard cider, spirits, and I think
all
that's
Connecticut.
it. Yeah, chips, nuts, pretzels, cookies, brownies, blondies, pies.
I was just telling you before I can't talk tonight. When we started recording, my father had some of your chips a number of years back. I wish I remember what flavor he got, but it was maybe like 3 years ago. He said it's probably the best potato chip he's ever tasted in his life.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours, they come out like they're crunchy, they're a touch sweet because we have it's a beer reduction with the butter and the honey, and then seasoned and baked again. So it creates a really good like snack.
Yes, definitely.
Nice bite to it.
I've also had the chips before, so I had that, the brownies. The one thing I was actually showing my coworkers a couple of days ago the pies.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was throwing through your Instagram. And I was showing them, like, the one had, I think, the Oreo cookies on it, the cookies and cream, I think, was it?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, we do a couple cookie pies. That was a Oreo cookie pie. And then we also do fruit pies, nut pies, like a chocolate whiskey pecan. And then we do, like, a peach bourbon, hard cider mixed berry. Yeah, we also have a couple traditional flavors, too. But we like to, like, do fun, different twists. So, like, instead of just a cherry pie, we do a cherry almond.
Yes.
Our blueberry has lemon in it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, so we have blueberry lemon, then we have like a salted caramel apple, so a bunch of just different fun flavors.
Yeah. Now, I know you work with a couple of local breweries as well.
Yeah, over 24 of them.
24.
Yeah, so we make the snacks for their tap rooms with their specific beers. So, we have a nice partnership where we pick up their beer, make the snacks for them, and then sell them to them in their tap room, and
Now, how'd you get into that? I assume there's got to be some sort of backstory behind it.
We originally were not going to be what we are now. We were just going to be like a sleepy little bakery, do like farmers markets, do a lot of breakfast style pastries like muffins and scones. And we did make a brownie that was with Guinness. So we said, why not use a local stout instead of Guinness, right?
Yes.
So then we started using local stouts and thought, well, we should probably talk to the brewery and make sure they don't care that we're just using their name out there, right? So I believe Voracious was the first one. So we went to Monroe to Voracious Brewing and asked them if it was cool. Of course, they were totally cool with it. And they were like, what else can you do with our beer? So it kind of escalated from there, and we started tinkering around. It led to like the chips and the nut caramel, and then a blondie as well. And then we just started wholesaling through that path through breweries. And then Voracious, one turned into Brewport and Voracious, and then it just kept going from there.
Yeah, it's one of those things. When someone hears about something, it's like they all follow suit. It's like, oh, that's a great idea. When you come to think about it, it is an amazing idea of using the local brew, the local beer. In
yeah, definitely.
Food. Yeah.
So I also follow. Oh, actually, my phone is ringing. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Let me turn it off. Sorry.
No worries.
That's what happens when I actually connect my phone to the thing. And we were just talking about that 2 minutes before.
Yeah.
Let me just say I was talking about this 2 minutes before we were on the air that no one ever calls me. And literally someone's calling me.
Well, you need to get your car warranty taken care of.
Yeah, exactly. I was literally, no one's called me in weeks. And
now
is someone started calling me.
Yeah, within our so we started producing in August of 2016, and then that January we actually got into a beer fest that was at Brewport.
Okay.
And Jessica filled up a little wagon and walked around to each brewery there and handed out a sample to everybody. Be like, hey, this is what we do. This is who we are. Here's our business card. So it kind of helped get in touch with a bunch of breweries all at the same time. That was the first time I had ever even been to a beer festival, and I didn't even know they existed. And
yeah, I know they're quite the rage nowadays.
I didn't even like beer. Like, I thought beer was Natty Light and Rolling Rock and the Beast. But once we started doing this, then we would go to the breweries and try like a flight. And then I came to learn that there were so many different types of beer. So I found my like gateway couple, and then that turned into learning like the tastes of them and the little nuances and the adjuncts and whatnot. So now, of course, I love beer now.
Yeah, honestly, like you said before, like all the local, like the craft brewery thing, I never knew there was such a difference in beer.
Yeah,
I thought just like Bud, Guinness. I can't even tell you the other ones.
Like Corona's the fanciest I've probably ever had. It just wasn't a thing for me then. Until the brewery hopping around, then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, the other question is, what's the story behind the alpaca?
Oh, that's a fun one. Jessica and I were out having cocktails when we were planning this, and we were coming up with names, and we were talking about our backgrounds, things we liked, and came up that she grew up on an alpaca farm. Like, her family owns like over 30 alpacas in this little town in Pennsylvania. And, we thought it was just this funny, random, quirky thing. And, drunk because we bake with beer and fun stuff. And we wanted something that was catchy, memorable.
Oh, it definitely
and who doesn't love alpacas? They're super adorable.
They are. And ours is fancy with a monocle.
Yeah.
And a bow tie.
Dapper guy.
So, as crazy as it sounds, I just realized they had a monocle on it. Yeah. I seriously never noticed until you just said it. That's amazing.
He's fancy.
Yeah. And now, what was it like growing up with alpacas?
I mean, I'm not a farm person.
Yeah.
I know I grew up on, in that world. My parents are farmers. Like, my grandparents were all farmers. It just never appealed to me. So I kind of didn't like it there that much. It's very nice and quiet to go to now. But I am a city person for sure. I'm a concrete person, not a dirt person. It was quiet. It was very quiet. But we have neighbors, but not really. Like, they're down the road. It wasn't like there were kids around. Yeah. But you could explore like forever, and there was like tons of land to like just,
to run
around on, and lots of cornfields too. But I mean, it was nice and quiet. Yeah. I think farmland is scary.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I think it would be eerily quiet.
Yeah. Horror movies happen out there, type of
no
thing.
Street lights,
no lights. It's pitch black.
It's funny that you say that, because even though I don't consider Oxford like like you're like that's exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
When my sister lives out there, so I go out and I'm like, I wonder what's gonna pop out of me. Like what kind of weird creature is gonna come out of me, even though it's like 2 towns over.
The fear that she has of hitting a deer while driving, I can't believe she
like
lived
my
it.
radar.
Yeah.
I hit a deer once when I was 16.
Did you?
And I've never gotten over it. I'm now going to be 46 in
Yeah.
May. So 30 years later, and I'm still like,
You still feel it.
I feel it. The radar, like, I will see it. It won't move, but I will see it in the middle of the woods, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. We have where I live. There's always a bunch of turkeys that literally cross the road every single morning.
Yeah.
So before I go, I always have to like. They're just sitting there. I gotta literally beep just for them not to go across the street because I would like to.
That's
pass,
like, yeah.
you know?
I totally get it. When I lived in Ansonia, there was a little stretch of road that they had to put up duck crossing signs because the amount of ducks that were crossing in like herds of them. I don't know, wait, flocks. That's what you call them.
Herds.
Yeah,
But it was like, it's like 20 of them at a time are crossing the street.
One time, I literally counted 22.
Oh my
Turkeys.
And
goodness.
turkeys are big.
Yeah,
They're big here. Like Connecticut turkeys are quite large.
yeah.
They're way bigger than Pennsylvania turkeys.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's probably more hunting in
Well,
Pennsylvania.
yeah, they probably don't make it as long
Yeah,
in Pennsylvania.
I've never been
But
in Pennsylvania.
have you been to the Valley in Connecticut?
I have.
That's Pennsylvania.
Okay, so I don't have to worry.
It's like, I jokingly call anything that's not a city in Connecticut Pennsyltucky, which is the part of Pennsylvania I grew up in,
Okay.
because it is like, I can't believe how woodsy and rural Connecticut is. I wasn't expecting that when I moved here. I thought it would be like all suburban or some cities. But yeah, it's like Pennsylvania. It's quiet. There's lots of pickup trucks. There's lots of people wearing camouflage, which I also didn't think I'd see in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like PA. I don't know if people hunt here or not, but their look, that vibe is the same.
Sometimes you know what it is. I think it's just more of like a style than like actual hunt. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because like I know a lot of people dress like that, but they don't do any kind of hunting or.
Yeah.
Most I've seen someone do is fish. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's it's like that. It's a little bit slower, of course, than here.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's going to be just a lot more going on here
Yeah.
than
definitely.
Pennsylvania.
Jessica had to a drive an hour to get to the grocery store or something? Where you're from?
It's like 20 minutes for anything you want. I mean, at least 20 minutes to get to something pretty much. It's not like I had a bodega
Yeah.
like I did when
Like
I
in the
moved
city,
to the
like every other
city.
weekend.
Yeah.
Or not every other weekend, every other like corner.
Yeah, like every corner.
So I love the city.
Me too. It's my fave.
I say I see you. It seems like online. I see you there all the time.
We go a lot.
Do
yeah.
ya?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You do a lot more traveling there than I do. I just know like Manhattan a little bit and like.
My son is obsessed with the subway system.
Oh, is he?
He knows like every stop. He spends all of his time watching videos of the subway, and he just is like, this is the Brooklyn bound L train. Next stop is Lefferts Boulevard. And he knows like every single one. So we pick a random neighborhood every time
Oh, good.
and we just go.
You just go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a plus.
Yeah, it's nice.
We used to. My friend and I used to go to Coney Island for the Mermaid Parade.
Nice.
So we used to take the train. I forget what it was. Maybe it was the L train. I know it was one of those
It's
subways.
the F train
yeah.
maybe.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with that because you know more.
Yeah.
You clearly know more.
Yeah, I
about
have
it.
no idea. I am
What?
not a fan of the city.
I lived in the city for a little over a decade.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, before I moved to Connecticut.
Were you guys baking before this?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. She was baking some pies and
I assume there was like some sort of someone has to be a baker.
Oh, like before. We thought you meant
I thought
tonight.
you meant before we came in.
We were
yeah,
like, we were
of
making
course.
pies
Well, that,
tonight. I met Stephania at Whole Foods. We worked in the bakery there.
Okay.
She was leadership there, and I was a cake decorator. And then I became the kitchen supervisor, and she became a team leader. So we met there, but Stephania is professionally culinary trained.
Oh, yeah?
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
That was always my life was baking.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, like I did I went to school right here in Shelton at the Lincoln Tech or Center for Culinary Arts, however they say it. And then I did I was a pastry chef at the New Haven Lawn Club for about 4 years, and then cake decorating at like Costco, BJ's. I did like some small coffee shops as like internships in the morning before school. But and then I also interspersed that with like managing a movie theater in Seymour for about 10 years.
Oh, is that the one that's on the corner? Or
right
the
off exit 19.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so where like the Dunkin' Donuts is up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was there for
where Ames used to be.
Yep. So I did that, and then I was at the bakery at Whole Foods, and so I always knew I wanted to bake. Like that was something I did it in high school. They did like a restaurant at our high school for like all the teachers. Mm-hmm. So we did that. We ran that for them during their lunch breaks. Interesting. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. Stratford High did it. It was called the Red Devils Inn.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
did they?
so it was like cool. It was a double period. So the first part of the period would be preparing all of the food, and the second part was serving it to the teachers. So it was like a restaurant. So we'd like do tableside, have everything set up, and serve them, clean them, all that, clean the dishes and stuff.
Sounds a lot more interesting than my high school.
We did not have anything cool like that.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was something I always knew I wanted to do. It was just a matter of getting the kick in the butt to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always said, after culinary school, I'm like, my 5-year plan is to open up a mom and pop type bakery. And we kind of almost got that. Yeah. It took a little bit longer, but.
And I know for a while you were across the street from our studio here. Well, Lou's studio, not our studio.
Yeah, we were. Our first year, we rented a kitchen to bake out of. So we had a couple shelves that we stored our ingredients in, and we'd get there at like 6 o'clock at night, and we do our baking till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then we realized like we needed more kitchen time, and we wanted something that we could make some money off of while we're baking. So that's what we started looking around, and we had been at the Shelton Farmers Market. That was our first farmers market that we did, which is right here in the parking lot. Yeah. And then we saw that across the street was for sale. So we kind of reached out to them. We couldn't find actually the realtor to begin with. We were like calling. We were trying to look online. And
pretty rough.
It was
trying
like
to get any sort of contact.
Any information. Like, we want to rent this space. We were like, let's just talk to the pizza shop owner next door and just see if he knows anybody who's like, actually, I own that space. We're like, oh, well, that makes it easier. I'm like, we've been trying to get in touch with your real estate agent. He's like, what? Yeah, all right. Well, I'll show you it then. I'm like, okay. So, and then we ended up transforming it into a retail store with our kitchen. And, we were open like 5 days a week, and we did that for about 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And
I remember it was one of the first, when I started this whole CT small business, it was one of the first places I just walked into. I was like, oh, let me check it out. Mm-hmm. And I just randomly walk into like stores.
Yeah, well, that's how you find things, right?
Yeah.
Like, explore. Like, she goes and randomly explores the neighborhood every weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
You always find really good restaurants that way.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it. Just get up and
just go.
I think what time, or if I remember right, what caught my attention was the alpaca that was on the window.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep.
So I remember there was alpaca on the window.
Yep,
right?
we had alpacas on the window, and then they had the sign out front, and that's from another local business too. We used Taproom Tackers out of Glastonbury. They did that for us, came and installed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like your fancy packaging that you use for your. I keep on holding chips, so it sounds like like any background noise. I'm holding your malted. I don't have
malted
cheaters.
pretzel crunch.
Malted pretzel crunch pretzels. And let me see if I can cheat and see where these are made with.
So that is. Do you want us to tell you?
Yes. Because you know what it is. Because I want to stop. I'm going to read, and it's going to be like 2 minutes of awkward silence.
Yeah. No. It's that is our. People, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but like it's really addictive. Okay. And it's made with pretzels, butter, brown sugar, malt powder, milk powder, and it comes out as these like clusters of pretzels. It tastes almost like toffee. It's like salty, sweet, buttery. And it's super delicious, and it's something that's going to taste the same at every brewery because there actually isn't beer baked into it, so it's going to have it's a standard recipe. Yeah. Whereas like the beer glazed chips, we're going to use that brewery's beer for that specific batch, so it's going to taste a little bit different at each brewery you go to, just because of the different beers. And so some might be a little bit hoppy, some might be a little tangy, depending on where you have it. So one sea salt chip doesn't taste the same as the next, but that malted pretzel crunch is going to taste the same anywhere you have it.
Yeah, and I see the rest of you can't see, but I have 5 different bags of chips 4 bags of chips, and I'm screwing things up because I see I'm talking
3 chips.
I like to speak before I talk, before I think. I see 3 bags of chips, some peanuts. It looks like
It's a mixed beer caramel mixed nut.
Yeah, and I see, obviously, we were talking about the pretzels.
Yeah.
But the rest, the 4 other bags, they looks like they have some sort of beer glaze to it.
Yes. So yeah, the chips are a beer glaze. So that is beer reduction with butter and honey, different seasonings. So those definitely have beer. This one is a beer caramel nuts.
Okay.
So this is a dairy-free caramel that we make with. So it's a beer and brown sugar caramel coated on the nuts and then baked and then lightly salted. So it's a peanut, pecan, walnut, and almond mixture. And we do, I think, 8 different types of potato chips. We do a vegan version since, some people don't want the butter and the honey in it. So we do Earth Balance and agave. And we also do a hard cider version for those who have a gluten sensitivity.
Okay.
So when you add the beer to potato chips, it makes them no longer gluten friendly.
Yeah.
So hard cider doesn't have any gluten in the brewing process. So we do a hard cider reduction instead of the beer.
Okay. Now, any of these chips, is there a specific beer that you use? Like from a specific company?
This round was Raising Hellas from Nebco.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite beers. I love Hellas lagers. So yeah, this round is a Nebco round.
Okay.
But
we use quite a few different breweries.
Mm-hmm. And when you go to the breweries, we're going back to labeling each one. Mm-hmm. We had originally, when you probably seen our old packaging, it was like the clear bags. You could see the chips. We labeled it with each beer. But for the breweries, you're going to start seeing that again.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It was like, it was like a specific company that you used or a beer that you used, where they were from.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back to that. We decided to pause that for a little while just because of how busy our packaging is now. It's a lot going on in that front package.
It's sticker central.
Yeah,
it's like a sticker bomb.
Oh, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. I'm sure. Like this just seems a lot of work. Well, just packaging alone.
Yeah.
Obviously bacon is. I'm sure it's obviously quite the experience, but. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know the graphic designer Nick was like, "Are you sure this is what you want? Because it's a lot." And we're like, "We're used to putting a bazillion stickers on everything. We used to when we worked at Whole Foods. It was sticker here, sticker there, sticker there, sticker there.
So many stickers.
We're like, it's fine. Yeah. So we kind of just hand label everything in kind of batches and then fill them as we need them.
I just gotta take a picture for my social.
Absolutely. Did you want to do one of each?
Oh yeah. See, you're thinking clearly. Clearly, you should be the new CT Small Business.
She doesn't have time.
We're here to help.
Yeah, I definitely need all the help I can use. And I see that you brought some beer as well.
Yeah, we brought some beer to share. All local Connecticut beer as well. So just some of our partnerships that we have, we like to always represent.
And I see, let me bring this over. I see everyone's like, what the hell's going on? I'll grab this one.
Yeah.
And it is...
Give it a good shake. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's a party.
Yeah, and this one looks like it's from Labyrinth Brewing Company.
Yeah, in Manchester. So, we have 2 breweries in Manchester that we supply the snacks for. Labyrinth is one, and then Urban Lodge is the other one.
Yeah, I see you guys are all over the state, it seems like.
Yes, we're in over 2 dozen. So, like, the farthest northeast we go is Great Falls in Canaan. Okay. And then the farthest north is... Lupoletto and Windsor Locks, as well as Almost Famous in East Granby. Okay. And then the farthest east we go is Hop Culture in Colchester, as well as Little House in Chester.
Okay. And I was there. I've been there once. That little house.
It's so adorable. They say they have a beer that's like, "Don't call us cute."
Yeah.
I think they have another one. We know we're cute.
Yeah.
And then the farthest south would be Reading Brewing in Reading, Connecticut.
We'll give this a little try. I'm not actually a big beer drinker myself in general. Oh. I hate to admit, but...
We also have some Athletic Brewing beer.
I've got
our favorite non-alcoholic. We both have early mornings tomorrow, so...
Yeah, no, I get that, so...
You want one?
I'll do the sour.
But yeah, I'm going to actually the city that I dread. But I'm going to New York City. I'm doing... Me, my sisters, and my cousin are going to it's a Golden Girls themed restaurant.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah. I literally just saw that last week.
Super fun.
I read it somewhere online.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to that. That'll be fun. You can take pictures of all the stuff that's in the series, and you have a meal. We're gonna have cheesecake at the end. Everybody has to have cheesecake, and so it'll be a good time. But yeah, I'm going to the city, and Jessica's going to an event.
I'm going to do an event at Words on Wood in Wallingford tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
a very
that's,
small little
the
craft
5-year anniversary.
5-year anniversary party. And then I'll be at the Shakespeare Festival in Stratford on Sunday.
On Sunday, right? I just, the reason why I only remember that because I remember they sent me a message to share it, asking if I could share it. I was like, of course.
Nice. Yeah.
And that's now I remember. It was like last weekend we just literally talked about it. If I got time, maybe I'll actually swing by and see what it's like.
Yeah, I think there's going to be like 8 or 9, 10 vendors there.
Yeah, there's a good handful of vendors, lots of prizes, raffles, activities to do.
Yeah,
And,
nice.
I don't think there's any duplicate vendors, so.
Yeah, let's see. I remember reading them online. There was all like, they're all like completely 180 from each other.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good event.
And I see that was announced today that you guys are going to be at the punk rock flea market.
Yes. So that'll be fun and exciting. I mean, that's definitely something that's going to be very, very interesting to see. All the different crafts.
I did the first one.
Oh, yeah.
And it was literally the first show. Like I set it up for my father. And he mounts insects and everything like that. And literally it started like 10 till 5 o'clock, and we were nonstop from 10 to 3.
That's awesome. Yeah,
like literally it was nonstop from 10. It was still busy from 3 to 5.
But at least you can breathe.
Literally, yeah.
Take a sip of water.
I was literally nonstop.
Nice.
And like it was so popular that they had to move to at the time they moved to the Southbury Drive-In.
Right.
For the next show.
And that was the one that they closed down because it was too busy.
Yeah, they closed down like at 12 o'clock or like 2 o'clock.
Yeah, my sister, she drove up there and she was just like, yeah, I got in before they had to close it, but then they made everybody leave. So.
Yeah. I got there early. I dragged my brother because he likes some of that kind of stuff. So we have to go early. I go, literally, you have to go I have to leave like 10 o'clock. You have to be there by like 10:30. And they open at I think at 11 o'clock. And we did a wraparound and we were leaving by like 11:30. And literally the line was out the door, to the main street, down the street. And people were parking on the side of the street on that busy. I don't know if you're familiar with that road.
I haven't been there. No.
It's just the busy street in Sellington, you could say. It's kind of almost like Queen Street where it's nonstop cars. And I said, this is exactly why I dragged you out of bed, So you don't mind if I open one of these bags?
No,
do
go
you?
for
They're for
it.
you to eat.
Yeah.
I'm I've been eyeing them.
Yeah.
And I love the packaging that you have.
Thanks.
you.
Yeah, we switched to a heat sealed, resealable bag.
I was going to ask you how you did it.
Yeah.
How you sealed these.
Yeah, super fancy machine. Still hand putting it through the machine, but it
one at a time.
one at a time.
Yeah.
It extends the shelf life without having to add any preservatives.
Okay. Sorry, as I'm chewing away from the mic.
Oh yeah, no, it's
for those
fine.
people who don't like chewing.
Crunch.
So yeah, this is the last thing you want to hear on this podcast is chewing. But yeah, these things are good. This is, and the one I'm trying is the bar. I just ripped it open. The barbecue one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, and because I'm a baby when it comes to spice, and there's just a little tiny bit of kick. But we make our own barbecue seasoning. We do a whole blend of different spices, and
Oh, do you?
yeah.
I assume, I was going to ask. I assume you make literally almost to the T, almost everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, whatever we can between the two of us.
I'm literally getting the kick now. as
Yeah,
you say it.
Yeah.
It's not when you first, but I mean, because there's a little bit of cayenne in the seasoning.
Yeah.
But it's not as much as any of the others. Hopefully, you
Yeah,
got a beer at least to wash it down.
Yeah, definitely. I love hot stuff though, so it's okay.
The goal is for you to A, like it, and B, make you drink more.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, the brewery's spicy and salty.
And salty.
What it is, I always find that if something's too hot, you can't eat it. I don't know if that makes. Well, that probably makes sense to you.
Oh yeah, I'm a
to
baby
you.
when it comes to that. But yeah, we used to do a habanero chip, and we're it's more of a dare for people than it is for an enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've had people open it up, start to eat it, and walk back the 2 steps and be like, I can't eat this. I need to exchange it. It's so hot. Yeah. I don't think people realize sometimes which pepper is
Yeah.
hotter than the next, and habanero is pretty.
They're pretty hot.
Yeah.
That's one of those things you have to do if you have like that one hot pepper that they have in the bag. That's like the one. That's like a gimmick you can sell. You know, so not a gimmick, but like that's an idea.
Yeah.
So
is it who makes that? Is it Taki? Is that how you say that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. One pepper challenge.
Yeah. I want to try it. But it's gonna have to be. It's gonna be on a weekend because I know I'll feel it. So. But yeah, my next step is for the PCT Small Business Podcast is a video of eating local stuff like your guys' stuff first, obviously.
Awesome.
Fun.
And by the way, my podcast is just random. We just talk. So
that's fine. That's cool with us.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right? You know what is? It's always tough. Some people who come on, they're like, "Oh, what do we talk about?" You go, literally just whatever.
Organic, whatever comes up.
Whatever comes up.
I mean, we talked about my previous life experiences. We didn't talk about Jessica's.
So besides being a very rural, small town child, little house on the prairie, I thought I'd be a break dancer when I grew up.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued now.
I spent all of my free time as a young child watching Soul Train, and Solid Gold was my favorite.
I love Soul Train. As crazy as it sounds, I love.
Yeah. And all the other ones too. Like when I got older, there's like Dance Party USA and whatnot. But I was obsessed with the movie Breakin'.
Okay.
The first one that's set in New York City. The second one, Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, is set on the West Coast. But I thought I would move to New York City and be a break dancer and ride the white subway trains before they got tagged, and then possibly learn how to tag. But I moved to New York City after college in 1999, and that was about a decade too late for all of that. So I missed that.
Yeah.
But I moved to New York City, which is a whole 180, right, from farm life.
Yeah.
And
what part did you move to?
I first moved to Canarsie in Brooklyn, which is really far. It's like the end of the L train before you hit Long Island. And then I moved to the top of Manhattan, and I lived in Inwood for a little bit. And then I was down a little bit further in Washington Heights, which is like between Harlem and Inwood.
Yeah. And
then back to Inwood, and then I moved to Elmhurst, Queens, and then I moved to Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And then I moved to Connecticut.
Oh, so you're all over the place then.
I was all over the place. I mean, I was there for a little over 10 years. So working mostly for a few different structural engineering firms. That was my world before I left it to be a cake decorator. So another 180. I love 180s. I love doing 180s. It's my favorite.
You know, I think those people like that have like so many different things they've done are the best people to talk to.
There's nothing,
so many stories.
Nothing better than change.
Yeah.
I'll never understand being afraid of change. It's like the most exhilarating thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
I'm 42 years old, and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
True.
So just like
don't grow up.
Exactly.
Just constantly keep growing.
Be like Peter Pan.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
As David Bowie says, turn and face the strange.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
It's the only way to live life.
You know, I like to tell people I like to go. I do what I want when I want.
So, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah,
Eric Cartman.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I feel too, and that's why I don't have a child.
Yeah, me too. I don't have no kids. Not in a bad way. Just they only serve 3 purposes: to laugh, cry, and shit themselves.
Aw. Mine rides the subway.
Yeah.
Pick stuff up that you drop on the ground, right? That's something else to do. Go get me that.
Yeah. Well, that's what's great about you, especially like seeing your kid. Like it seems like he's interested in going out and learning stuff, and
he's like my little explorer sidekick for the city. We spend a lot of our time just looking for street art. We do that a lot, just walking around whatever neighborhood, eating. I mean, we always get pizza, and then we eat at a real restaurant.
Yeah. Some kids, you can't. It's like I assume it's like. From what I hear, it's like it's impossible sometimes to even get them out. So then, like we follow each other on social media, so like I see you constantly with them and like out there. Like I swear you're doing something like literally every weekend. He
asks, "Can we go this weekend? Can we go this weekend?" I mean, he does love it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and my husband doesn't care. He works in the city, I mean, not every day, like a couple times a week, but so he's obviously knows the city too, but. Yeah, my kid loves the Subway, and he could tell you the train model, what year it was made, when it replaced the previous model. Like, he's in love with the Subway trains.
Oh, that's interesting.
All he wants to do is have a job driving it when he becomes an adult. That, or, a YouTube video. All kids want that, right?
Yeah.
YouTube person.
I would, as weird as it sounds, I would love to drive a train. It just seems interesting.
It seems...
Or a Subway as well.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot more than just a car. Like,
I think I have anxiety.
there's a lot of switches. A lot of switches.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still thinking about these chips. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm stuck on these. This whole thing's gonna be gone before we stop talking.
Nice. I mean, you have a super spicy one. Not super spicy, but I mean, like I said, I'm a baby. There's also Chipotle, which is like a smoky spice.
You don't mind if I try that one?
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go for all of
I
them.
was just hungry, so I went for a snack. That's
Definitely.
sea salt.
That's sea salt.
Yeah.
That caught my attention before too. Anything sea salt always catches my attention.
That's a good base to start with. Because it's just always going to taste good.
Yeah.
And that's the one that you can probably taste like the most beer out of, because there's not any other flavors that are kind of gonna mask it.
Yeah. Now, what's the most popular thing that you sell? I don't know if is there?
It's definitely the chips.
Yeah.
We make I don't know, at least 16,000 bags of chips a year.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know if we counted this. I don't remember this previous year, but we make a ton of chips. Malted pretzel crunch is a pretty stable choice. We make a lot of whiskey pretzels too. Those are spicy, and we use Continuum whiskey out of Waterbury.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right next to Brassworks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I live in Waterbury myself. I go there every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say though the chips are definitely the most popular.
Oh, that's good too. Sorry, I'm just.
Yeah. Wait till you try the malted pretzel crunch. Like, that's what I mean. Like the clusters.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
Or sticking my pile of chips on.
They're like nuggets of like deliciousness.
Yeah.
I forget how much I like it until I start eating it, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so good.
When Lou is going to edit this later on, he's going to probably be like, what the hell? I was chewing.
I know he's
I
gonna,
was chewing and the microphone is
or
killing
he's
me.
gonna wish he was here to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kitchen smells so good when it's malted
sure.
pretzel crunch day.
Now you're in the kitchen in Trumbull, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a commercial kitchen. There's no more retail store there. We moved into somewhere that's an old Unilever building. So it was taken over by Levco, and they turned it into which is like a propane company, I think. And they turned the majority of the building into it's called collab. So like you can rent out each individual office. So a lot of people during like the pandemic, instead of working from home, they just rented out this one cubicle or office. That way they had somewhere to go that was close, that they could like make it different than having to work at actual home. Like when you leave, you leave. It's not like, well, let me just run downstairs and keep working on this. And so we took over the cafeteria there and made it our own. We have about triple the amount of space that we did when we were in Shelton. So it just made it a lot easier to expand our production and get more done. And and then they're kind enough to let us do little pop-ups with our tent outside.
Yeah, I saw that recently.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah, so we could do that right before, typically holidays. We did it before the Super Bowl. We'll do it again before Easter. And so people can do their pre-orders for pies, party platters, snacks, gift baskets. And then they come pick it up during our pop-ups. And we do it through all the holidays.
I wouldn't even know how you have time to even have a store. Because like you guys, like literally, you seem like you're literally everywhere.
Yep. And that is... Jessica's trying to rein me in. We're trying to rein in this year, but I'm the booker.
We said we were going to rein it in, and then we every day have our calendar, have our planner out, and it's like, well, look, there's a Saturday that doesn't have something in it in July. Let's fill that.
Yeah, there's like some times where we were doing like 6-7 events a week, and then we're like, all right, we need to calm down, because then we're still filling, our wholesale accounts and doing deliveries.
It's funny you say that, because I would go say one craft show to something, and you have another tent there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. We split up a lot now.
Yeah. We divide and conquer when possible.
Yeah, when we think about it, we're like, oh, can you imagine when we were doing this and there was 2 of us? Now it's like, all right, now we got to set up this whole tent, all the displays, lug everything in and out of the car by ourselves. And But we do have a delivery driver now, Craig. And
Craig.
Hey, Craig.
So yeah, he helps us every Thursday. You'll see him out doing the deliveries, driving around the state. And then he also helps us at some events too. So he's a good salesman, and we're starting to teach him to do a little bit of production work. And then we also have my mom, who's super helpful. She comes and helps us. Yeah, my mom, Wanda. Wanda, you'll see her.
I love the name Wanda.
Oh, thanks. I think it's fun. And she helps with the pop-ups. You'll see her during Thanksgiving and Christmas time. She's running out your orders, and she also labels all the bags and pie containers. And so she's super helpful.
Yeah. These pretzels are amazing, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, they're very addictive. So good.
Yeah, I can, be honest with you, I could have you on every week. We could just like sit here and talk about your food that you make.
Thanks. Yeah, it's like a melt in your mouth. It's like buttery, malty, salty, sweet, crunchy.
It's funny that you say that, because I was thinking of how quick and melted. It wasn't just like. Usually, I'm not a big fan of that in general, but I'm now a fan of these.
Awesome.
But I like pretzels, but like I was never a fan of that kind of mix. But this is exactly like you said. It just melts easily.
Yeah, and then when you get to the bottom of the bag, when you have just all of that, the crumbles, you can just throw it in some yogurt, on some ice cream.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
Salad.
It's super good.
Yeah. I can see a Drunk Alpaca ice cream.
We'd have to partner with one of our faves, Tipsy Cones.
Tipsy Cones?
Yeah.
We love Tipsy Cones. Yeah.
I'll tell you a story how I met them too. I went to a craft show or a food truck festival in Oxford, and I was like, oh, I'll try that. And then they hear like, oh, we do private parties, and then we have and I had a coworker who never hung out with like people that are below, not people below him. Like, you had a manager who refused to hang out with people outside of work just because of personal reasons. And he goes, the only time I'll hang out with you guys is if you have a pig roast. So I was like, okay, I have a pig roast. And that's the only time you'll come on and hang out with us. And I go, I won't invite anyone stupid or mean. Or I'll just like choose whoever you want. I'll bring, that way you don't feel uncomfortable. And I was like, I gotta get Tipsy Cones. And then I had them at my house like 3 years in a row.
They're so fantastic.
Yeah. They have such amazing flavors.
I know.
Kind of like
great.
kind of like this. So.
Yeah, we love their stuff.
Yeah, I think last year they only did private events. They weren't doing any festivals or events.
Yeah. I was so disappointed. I was so thrilled when they did. I think it was like September, October. They were at Two Roads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We used to always be able to count on seeing them there. Yeah.
And they did. They weren't scooping. They were selling pints.
Yeah.
So we had to go. We had to get our fill of pints. So I'm hoping they do it. They said they might be doing it in March again. So I'm hoping that
that's cool.
Got to stock a freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to tell her to put a little freezer outside. I'll come and drop the money off, or I'll Venmo it to her if she wants me to. But
like her own little tiny farm stand in front of her place. That's just ice cream.
It's full of ice cream. I'll definitely pay you. I have no problem with that. So
it's good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what's your favorite? Without naming anything that's not bad, but what's your favorite brewery? Do you have one? Is it fair to say, or
picking your favorite kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of.
And you know how she feels about kids.
Yeah.
I don't.
Or do you have a favorite beer? Just like I've every obviously I know you love them all, should I say?
I love all my children equally.
Yeah.
Except Job. I don't like Job.
Exactly.
I don't know. My favorite. I mean, I definitely have a lot of favorites of beer. I love Nebco's Helles Lager. I like a lot of Nebco beers, but I feel like that's home base a lot of the time for us. I love Counterweight's beers.
Alvarium. I love their Cluster Nutter series. They do it. It's a peanut butter porter, and they do like King Cluster, and they did a a whole line just a couple weeks ago where they released, I think, I don't know, like 4 or 5 different types of variations of the cluster nutter.
It was called cluster beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can swear. It's okay.
It's called clusterfuck.
Yeah. We don't discriminate. We always tell people they can say whatever the hell they want.
I don't know if this is PG-13.
No.
Northwestern Pennsylvania podcast.
Yeah. Now, where you're from, is that where Punxsutawney Phil's from?
I am from over there. I'm about another 40 minutes northwest of Punxsutawney.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
People get up at like 2 a.m. and start
pounding
drinks. Like it's a drunk party.
That seems like it's quite the thing.
It's still the middle of the night and it's just starting.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You can find our snacks at 20 some breweries across the state. There's a couple different small gift shops. Bar in Fairfield. You can find our stuff at Bad Sons in Derby, right across the bridge.
Yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow night.
Yeah, also across the street at the Shelton Gift Boutique.
Mm-hmm.
And we also
right
have
across the street.
Online store too, so we can ship them right to your house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you like, you can also visit the website to see where you can find it.
Yeah, we're somewhere every weekend pretty much. You can find us all over the state.
Yeah, fairs, festivals, beer festivals, food festivals.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's gonna post in a couple of weeks, but I know you're gonna be this Saturday or a couple of Saturdays ago at Words on Wood in
tomorrow
in Wallingford for their 5-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm. I'll be there tomorrow. We'll be at Bad Sons at night for the Beer Man Beer podcast anniversary. And Sunday we'll be at Shakespeare Festival in Stratford. And we have quite a few coming up. We usually try to post every week the whole line of events for the week. Yeah. And then we post every week as well where we do our wholesale drops. Mm-hmm. So, when Great Falls up in Canaan gets their chips, you'll know it. When Tribus and Milford gets their chips, you'll know it. Yeah.
I would go to Tribus. I've been there twice in my life for best trivia ever.
Mm-hmm.
For his little slam event.
Oh, for this,
yeah. It's obnoxious.
Wrestling.
I know you guys can't see he has a Macho Man shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, sorry, I know I shouldn't be chewing and talking into a microphone.
It's a food episode. It's okay.
Exactly.
Disclaimer.
But I had Ken on and
we love Ken. He's so great. Yeah. Tons of fun.
Yeah. And it's funny because we know someone who's a trivia snob, not snob, but he's really into trivia, and he's one of those people that Ken described was they hate best trivia ever. But now when Ken came on, it made sense. Mm-hmm. It wasn't how he described it.
It's a fun. It's just a really fun night out.
Yeah, but now I see from his side of how just a fun night out, just entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I get it, so.
Yeah, I like it when he does the themed ones too. I think they're doing a couple Super Mario Brothers ones coming up. They've done Taylor Swift in the past. Yeah, because I'm not good at general knowledge trivia. My boyfriend kicks my butt in Trivial Pursuit all the time. He says, "Do you want to play?" I'm like, ugh. Because also he can memorize the cards too. Yeah. I have a terrible memory, so I can get the same cards every game and not remember the answers.
Yeah. But I remember I went to the show last year because I do photography on the side. So I was like, shoot some photos, not for him because I knew he had a professional, people there. But it was just funny. Then he added this year. It was both on a Thursday night, a random Thursday night, and it was just the most intense, insane thing. And we were talking about it. Ken and I were talking about it after this year's show. Mm-hmm. Literally, they had a top secret guy coming at the end, and he was literally on TV the night before. In front of I think their TV show was 10,000 people.
Oh my goodness!
And he's in a brewery the next
night. I know.
He's in a brewery the next night, coming out from Travis outside, and everyone freaking. I was like, "What the hell's going on?" Everyone went nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So. No, all the special ones are great nights out.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, he used to do sumo slam, and then you can like people would dress up in like the sumo wrestler costumes and wrestle for prizes. And
that was rough. I did it.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah, I told him. I said, I don't know how you're going to top it next year, but I go, I'm sure you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I don't even have to be in question. I just know you're going to top what you did.
Yeah.
So I remember texting him. I go, I know you're going to. I go, I don't know how you're going to top it, but I know you definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even like. I want to go to just see what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not even just for the event. It's just I want to see him top himself because I know knowing Ken, I know he will top himself.
Yeah, he'll never just be complacent. He will definitely constantly be striving to do something bigger.
The next. Yeah.
And it's one of those things I just want to go and support him just for what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm. So.
That's the cool thing about, I mean, not just the beer industry, but like this small business and the beer. You know, we're all kind of connected through the beer, right? The people you meet. Super cool, all the people you meet doing these really cool things. Really fun things. It's definitely not a dull moment in this community.
No, and the good thing is, like, I swear, each person I've had on so far, somehow they've known other people I've had on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like I had Dana from Tipsy Gypsy, and like she's known like every other person that's been on.
Yeah.
You know, and they I think she went to college with Phil from who was on the
Phil Pappas?
Yeah, he was on the Phil. He was on the Brewers Guild.
Yeah.
Who we had on, and it was just, and then she knew it just seems like it's like there's like a circle of family.
7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, it's like there's like that certain like support, like you want to go and help that person, not help them, but like you want to support what they're doing. So I think it's grown to like even like a family, but like even like I think the brewery things help because a lot of it is there, like it's like a lot of the brewery, you know, it's at the breweries.
I think they're sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I mean I was just gonna say when we first started, we didn't realize what the camaraderie was with the breweries. We were like, are they gonna want exclusive rights to like the snacks? Is it okay if we work with other people? And then we realized like how much they are all intertwined. They do collaborations with each other. If somebody runs out of grain, they can need to like swap. They will. They'll, you know, give out, you know, you're going to get your growler shipment in here. We've got, you know, this. They're just like so helpful with each other. And then a lot of people like work at one and then they work at another. And then you just see them all around. And it's just kind of fun too as well. It's like meeting all of them at the beer fest. It's just like a big party, big fun time. Because it's, you know, like I've never been to college, but I feel like it would be like college.
Yeah, definitely.
It's way better than college.
Yeah, and
it's
like
way better than college.
Like Phil was out telling me, even like stuff like the scholarship they have for
Sacred Heart.
Yeah, for Sacred Heart for the I forgot. I'm sure if you go back
brew
on the
it,
episode,
brew at shoe.
Yes,
brew at shoe. Yeah.
Like I'm sure if you go back to the episode, it'll be clearly better explained than what I'm saying. But like, and now that guy Jamal was like one of the first like people from that like got the scholarship or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, he's always in the 30 under 30 or the 40 under 40 thing.
Jamal Jammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's spearheading the Change in the Air festival that raises money for that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
And I think when Phil is on, I think literally he just had it, or like they were going to have it, like literally like the week after, or they probably just had it around the same time.
I think one thing we found in this community too is that a lot of people involved in the brewery are also like small business, whether it's a side hustle or they're artists as well doing their job at the brewery. Mm-hmm. So it's like this big just family of small business entrepreneur type people as well.
Yes,
a lot of creatives. Yeah. It's a good one.
Actually, Kinsman they actually reached out to me because they wanted me to have since I do tie-dye on the side, they're the first people that actually reached out. It was like, hey, you want to do a pop-up at our facility? And like, it'll just be you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
nice.
Yeah, so I want to, if Lou's available that weekend, I'll bring him, and that way he can, show people how to do a podcast or, get maybe potential clients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
fun times.
That way I might as well bring people with me, see what I can do,
That's the fun thing.
Yeah. So, but even a lot of the craft shows are popping up at the breweries.
Mm-hmm.
So all that kind of stuff, and like how they're having all these events, like a Bad Suns tomorrow.
Yeah, there's like all these great like either the really small pop-ups or the whole like shows they'll do with a bunch of vendors. Yeah, it's just like a community supporting all members.
And I go more because the food trucks are there now. Or like a lot of the times, like Rosalind's now in Bad Sons. Or like, you know, like the sauce that Kinsman. I might be wrong. I think that's Dominic and Vinny's.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it might be. I might be wrong. If you know, someone could correct me, obviously, if I am. But
yeah, they make good pizza. Yeah, and then Five Churches also makes their own pizza there on site,
do they?
too.
I've never been there. I have to go check it out.
It is. It's a nice place.
So
you can always find Zabardi's truck out and about a lot of the places. Yeah.
So where can we find you guys online?
Well, we are everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, you literally are everywhere.
I post as much as I possibly can. So we're on Facebook is The Drunk Alpaca. We're on Instagram at The Drunk Alpaca. Twitter, I post like once a week at The Drunk Alpaca. TikTok's like once every 2 months at The Drunk Alpaca.
Only thing I use Twitter for is it automatically posts my podcast. That's all. It's just I'm not a big fan. That's all.
LinkedIn, come be businessy with me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, Jessica. I told Jessica to take that over because I post like once a year on that.
Yeah, I have a LinkedIn. Maybe I should start using that too. You know.
And we have our website, www.thedrunkalpaca.com, and then we also have a Google page, so you can find all of our information there.
You can leave amazing reviews too.
Absolutely,
yes.
love that.
Please do tag us in your posts if you have our snacks out and about.
Yeah, we definitely reshare any tags. So if you want to be Instagram famous, no.
Yes, definitely.
If you have a Drunk Alpaca shirt, be sure to tag us. We love to see that.
I forgot to tell you to bring one because I would have bought one. I'll get you the show.
I saw a kid in Stamford with a Drunk Alpaca hoodie on, which is really random because down there's not a lot of Drunk Alpaca-ness. And I said, "Oh man, I love your sweatshirt." And he's like, "Oh, I don't even know what this is." It was like a teenage kid. It probably, was his older brothers or something, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
he didn't know what it was.
Funny that didn't know what it was.
He had no idea.
Yeah, my one of my mom's friends was at the Shakespeare Market the last time I was there, and she was like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. I saw somebody wearing your shirt in the laundromat." So I went over like, "Oh, do you know the girls?" And they're like, "No, I just like the shirt."
Yeah.
We're like, well,
promotion,
yeah, that's why we wanted something fun and catchy and memorable.
Yeah.
And I mean, who doesn't love alpacas?
Yeah.
You know.
And even if you don't like beer or snacks, which you should, it's just like a fun logo, a fun name.
Yeah, definitely is.
Yeah.
It catches people's attention, I like stuff like that. I have an amazing name for something I'll tell you off the air. I just have a weird thing about that, so.
That's fine.
And I don't know if I have names, I don't even know what I'm going to use it for.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want anyone to take it.
Yeah, so I have like 20 Instagram handles. They don't have anything. But just like ideas I have.
You're just parking them.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I had an idea. I'll tell you. Well, the name.
We got called the pregnant llama once.
Did you?
Yeah, they couldn't quite remember the name, and they're like, "Pregnant llama?"
Now, is there a difference between llamas and alpacas?
Mm-hmm.
Is there?
Yep. Alpacas are a lot smaller than llamas.
Okay.
Llamas are very good guard animals. They're mean. They guard other farm animals from like coyotes.
Oh yeah, because I remember watching online they do like a high pitched noise.
Mm-hmm. And they're very aggressive.
Yeah.
Alpacas are skittish. They're pretty much scared of people.
Mm-hmm.
They're like my mom, but they're scared of most people. They'll like back away. They'll spit too. Like they both spit, but they're not mean. Llamas can be mean.
Yeah, they seem like they're vicious.
Mm-hmm.
They just seem scary.
Alpacas are a lot softer. Their ears are shorter. Llamas are the ones that have like banana ears.
Okay.
Long banana ears. They have much bigger teeth. They both have really big teeth, but.
Yeah. Every time I think of llamas, I think of Napoleon Dynamite.
Eat the ham, Tina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a saying in our family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I'll start using that. People listen to the podcast like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But this is exactly what I got people on. Cause they get a feel of like, oh, that's what this person's like, or like they get more of a feel just behind the face of. If they find out who the face is, obviously.
Yeah, if you see us at our booth or at the brewery, come say hi. I promise, we're nice.
Yeah. I talk to random people when I go to the shows. They're like, what the hell?
Why not? That's how you meet all the cool people.
That's where I find out all the nice people are at. You know, the cool, like you said, the cool kids.
Yeah, all the cool kids.
Yeah.
You gotta find the cool kids. They're out there.
Definitely. And I think that's it. I think we're all set. I'm gonna continue eating my food. So, and we're out.